You are welcome to yet another episode of HN What's Your Say? The #1 listening show, where we discuss real issues with real people like you. We are still featuring R. Kelly. Real name Robert Sylvester Kelly. Also known as the R&B King. R. Kelly has lately been turned into a punching bag for anyone authentic or not that wishes to throw a punch to flex their muscles. It doesn't really seem to matter whether the women were groupies hunting down celebrities for a fortune, or even escorts chasing after a day's pay. For as long as a woman comes up with a story that adds a brick to R. Kelly's troubles, the media, the government and the court are more than willing to embrace them with open arms, and everything they say about Kells is considered gospel truth and therefore final. Among the now famous R. Kelly accusers is a woman who many of us should be familiar with by now. She goes by the name Faith Rogers and claims R. Kelly knowingly gave her an STD, and that he also abused her in many different ways. We have time and again expressed dissatisfaction with how the New York jury was able to come to a conclusion that R. Kelly actually did infect her with the disease, and not the other way around. While our argument has been that a man having a certain disease does not automatically mean that if a partner of theirs also gets it, then he has to be the one who gave it to her, a new development has availed more information to prove R. Kelly is not guilty when it comes to this count. A best friend of Faith Rogers who goes by the name Lauren Flowers, and knows her well enough, revealed some rather shocking information which the court needs to look into and acquit R. Kelly of this particular count that involves the STD. According to Flowers, Faith already had her own version of the disease before she started out with R. Kelly. She says that Faith Rogers boasted in her presence how she was going to date R. Kelly and later implicate him, suggesting he gave her the infection. This means she already knew she had it, but was going to frame R. Kelly and make it look like it was him who transmitted it to her, and that he never came clean to her about it. Considering Faith had it before she even met R. Kelly, and did not endeavor to tell him about it, if R. Kelly is guilty, then she too is guilty of the very same thing. Lauren Flowers also reveals in a social media post that back in the days, Faith used to go to celebrity shows, and later follow the artists to their hotel residence, and stalk them in the lobbies with the intention of enticing them to being with her. That was Faith Rogers' lifestyle, she added. And such a lifestyle does expose a woman to so much with such diseases inclusive. It's probably this behavior that saw her contracting the disease, later to blame it on R. Kelly so that she could get something out of it. How strategic. But why would the New York jury conclusively determine that she was not guilty herself of having the disease, and not telling R. Kelly about it? And why did the court make a judgment based on mere word of mouth by Faith Rogers, with no real proof that Robert actually didn't tell her about the condition? The court acted like they have a recording of R. Kelly's entire lifetime to play back and watch, looking out for whether he told her or not. These are the facts we base on to say the New York judgment was one based on mere speculation and no conclusive evidence. There is no way R. Kelly should have been found guilty for this count if the jury had looked out for conclusive evidence and ignored the hearsay. Lauren Flowers also made sure to give her ex-bestie a word of wisdom. In her post she said, "I guess I gotta be blunt since people are messaging me a lot about my ex-best friend and what I know about her mess. I won't disclose info, but I will say this. You don't see me flying out to a 50-year-old's house in hopes to gain money and gifts like my friend did, knowing her intentions were to sleep with him and come back with a bag. Those blaming R. Kelly should all stop having sympathy for some people you don't even know in real life. People you've never even spent a day with. Social media is not real life." I personally know Shorty flew out to see R. Kelly with an STD already, and wants a check now as she did before. Also, for the record, I no longer associate myself with that kind of mess. You are who you hung around, remember? That stuff will eventually catch up with you, Faith. But guys, stop feeding into these people you think you know off the internet. As a woman you need to live right, start a business, get a job or do something. Laying on your back simply won't get you nowhere, and snitching to media really won't either. So there you go. Sorry I had to be blunt cause I don't want to receive any more messages. Lauren Flower did hang Faith Rogers' dirty linen right in the open for the world to see. It's rather shocking that the media has acted blind to this for all this time. It's also interesting to learn that such witnesses could even win a case against R. Kelly in the New York Federal Court of Brooklyn. Where is our country headed? According to Don Brown, once all of this is done, R. Kelly needs to sue everyone who has been involved in his defamation project. All these women did was spread lies on the R&B king intended to spoil his name, and the only way to stop them is to sue. Otherwise they will continue with this behavior and destroy the lives of many more innocent men. It's crazy how court is quick to believe anyone who comes up with a claim against R. Kelly. I am yet to learn that court will nowadays make sentimental judgments and get away with it as the new norm. What happened to the court system that used to follow the law to the dot? Since when did the sentiments and speculations begin to lead to a judgment in the US court system? Am I living on Mars? In any case, considering the agenda behind R. Kelly's indictment is to end his successful career, and not to determine whether he is guilty or not, anything is possible. According to Leona Smith, the fact that an ex-best friend of the accuser was willing to tell the public Faith Rogers secrets that could have exonerated R. Kelly, but was never given a chance or even called upon by the former legal team shows that R. Kelly indeed lacked sufficient legal counsel. Meanwhile, this was not the only ex-friend of the accusers that was willing to talk. In Geronda's case too, a former friend who disclosed to us that Pace has a boyfriend inside the R. Kelly mansion by the name Bubba, the guy who helped her frame R. Kelly, was also willing to testify against her. Ineffective legal counsel is reason enough for a case to be retried in the US law. Also important to note is that the same Judge Ann Donnelly who presided over R. Kelly's New York trial has ever disqualified an entire law firm for this very same reason, and the defendant was granted a retrial. Why she chose to be inconsistent with her view when it came to R. Kelly, only God knows. What we now need to see is the appellate court revisit some of these facts, and either grant R. Kelly a retrial, or dismiss his case with prejudice. If you wish to take part in a live interview on this channel discussing any of these topics, let us know by emailing us on sashahnewsroom@gmail.com for scheduling. That is all we had for you today on HN What's Your Say? To keep updated whenever we post a new video, subscribe to this channel now. Also remember to hit the bell icon and enable notifications. And feel free to share your opinions with us in the comment section below, and let us know if you would like us to publish your views in our next release. We value all our subscribers' opinions.